can a fading 20th century entertainment property successfully secure a billion-dollar media empire in the hyper-competitive modern streaming era by simply relying on the digital marketability of top-tier internet personalities? This fundamental question sits at the center of a major high-stakes corporate gamble currently unfolding within the corporate offices of major television networks. For decades, traditional broadcasting executives assumed that creating a sustainable television hit required complex narrative screenwriting, prestigious ensemble casts, and deeply intricate plot developments. Yet, as network viewership numbers continue to decline across traditional platforms, media conglomerates are completely discarding old production playbooks in favor of a radical, finance-driven strategy that prioritizes pre-existing social media equity over traditional acting experience. When a network decides to resurrect the most watched television program in global history, the underlying motivation is never purely creative nostalgia, but rather a calculated structural play to maximize corporate advertising revenues and capture a completely new generation of consumer attention. This aggressive corporate strategy has officially manifested through the highly anticipated unveiling of the first-look teaser for the upcoming global television reboot of the iconic series titled Baywatch. Spearheaded by Fox Television Network in direct partnership with production powerhouse Fremantle, this major television revival is officially scheduled to launch a 12-episode first season beginning in January of 2027. The newly released promotional snippet features prominent media personalities Brooks Nader, who is 29 years old, and Olivia Dunne, who is 23 years old, both modeling the program's signature, globally recognized apple red swimsuits. Directed toward an era of modern content consumption, this ambitious project aims to modernize a legacy intellectual property that originally dominated global television waves from 1989 until 2001, transforming the sun-drenched shores of Southern California into a modern platform for cross-industry monetization. To fully trace how this corporate asset reached its current developmental milestone, one must analyze the strategic alignment of talent and promotional timelines over the preceding months. The momentum initially intensified when lead actor Robbie Amell, who has been officially cast as the primary protagonist Hobie Buchanan, shared a seconds-long teaser clip on his public Instagram platform, accompanied by the caption stating that he dreams in slow motion. The teaser immediately established a highly polished, visually arresting aesthetic, opening with the dark silhouette of a lifeguard grabbing a floating safety device from an ocean tower, juxtaposed against high-definition footage of a professional surfer riding a massive crashing wave. Amell himself appears in the clip running across the beach in traditional slow motion, showcasing a physical presentation tailored precisely to the historic legacy of the original brand. The narrative framework introduces a generational progression for the franchise, positioning Hobie Buchanan as a contemporary Baywatch captain, stepping directly into the authoritative shoes of his iconic on-screen father, Mitch Buchanan. The teaser further escalates the generational drama by introducing 24-year-old actress Jessica Belkin, who appears in character as Charlie Vale, who is officially designated as Hobie's long-lost daughter. This clever scripting choice provides the network with a sustainable multi-generational narrative architecture, capable of running for multiple future seasons. However, the true catalyst for the massive public relations surge surrounding this teaser was the prominent inclusion of Nader and Dunne, both of whom recently reunited at a high-profile promotional launch party for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. In the footage, Nader is observed walking confidently into the frame onto a dark ocean dock at nighttime, wearing a classic red jacket over her signature swimsuit as her long blonde hair catches the lighting. Concurrently, Dunne is depicted with platinum blonde locks, staring thoughtfully into the distance across a desolate beach landscape. The strategic release of these specific visuals was timed perfectly to capture the peak of summer media traffic. Utilizing the massive, pre-existing audience bases of these two digital titans to generate millions of organic impressions without relying on traditional, expensive marketing campaigns. An industry insider and financial analysis of this production reveals a highly sophisticated monetization model designed to mitigate the immense financial risks of modern television development. Fox Television Network President Michael Thorne explicitly outlined this corporate philosophy last fall in an official statement to Variety, explaining that during its initial run, the original show completely defined an entire era of coastal beach culture and successfully elevated ordinary lifeguards to an iconic global status. Thorne noted that by collaborating with Fremantle, this historic television juggernaut is positioned for a highly optimized modern comeback. For a major network like Fox, the financial viability of a 12-episode order depends entirely on securing guaranteed viewer retention from the very first broadcast second. In traditional television economics, networks invested millions of dollars in developing unproven scripts and testing unknown actors, a process that frequently resulted in costly cancellations and lost advertising capital. By utilizing a legendary legacy brand like Baywatch, the network completely bypasses the expensive phase of establishing brand awareness, as the intellectual property already possesses an absolute 90% global recognition factor. The original series, which famously starred David Hasselhoff as Mitch Buchanan and launched Pamela Anderson into global superstardom as C.J. Parker, managed to become the single most watched television program in the entire world during its initial run, despite consistently receiving highly negative reviews from traditional media critics. This historical precedent proves that the franchise model is fundamentally insulated from critical critique, operating instead as a powerful visual product driven by premium aesthetic curation and high-energy pacing. The modern financial innovation within this reboot lies in the precise casting of non-traditional talent like Olivia Dunne and Brooks Nader, representing their first major ventures into professional acting. Dunne, a former elite gymnast who recently completed a highly publicized career at Louisiana State University, explained to reporters that acting has been a significant personal passion of hers for a substantial period of time. She noted that while her rigorous training schedule as a student athlete previously forced her to maintain sports as her absolute top priority, her recent graduation has finally unlocked the necessary operational time to lean heavily into the creative and acting industries. From an industry perspective, casting an athlete of Dunne's unique profile is an absolute financial masterstroke. Under modern name, image, and likeness regulations, top-tier student athletes accumulate massive, hyper-loyal digital followings that rival traditional Hollywood stars. By transitioning Dunne directly from the athletic arena to a primetime television script, Fox is effectively importing millions of dedicated digital consumers directly into their broadcast ecosystem. This commercial model transforms the traditional casting director into a portfolio manager, where actors are selected not merely for their dramatic range, but for the literal volume of consumer data and digital traffic they can instantly deliver to corporate sponsors. This integration of digital equity significantly lowers the financial barrier to entry for new programming, allowing the network to command premium advertising rates from global consumer brands who are eager to align their products with highly marketable, brand-safe internet personalities in a prime television space. The public and entertainment industry reaction to this promotional unveiling highlights a deeply divided conversation regarding the ongoing reliance on legacy intellectual properties within contemporary media. Within the executive production landscape, talent managers and network analysts view this teaser as a textbook execution of modern audience acquisition, proving that nostalgia remains the most reliable currency in a fragmented entertainment market. the digital space experienced a massive surge in engagement metrics immediately following the Instagram publication, with millions of users celebrating the return of the iconic red swimsuits and expressing immense curiosity regarding how the classic beach narrative will adapt to contemporary societal standards. Dunne herself fueled this digital momentum back in March by sharing behind-the-scenes production footage directly from the set, describing the filming process as an absolute magical experience, and expressing her immense excitement to the official television social media accounts using lifeguard and heart symbols. However, this mainstream corporate enthusiasm has encountered a notable wave of skepticism from traditional television purists and media critics, who argue that the relentless recycling of 20th century brands exposes a severe lack of original creative risk-taking within major television studios. Critics assert that relying on lifestyle influencers and professional athletes rather than traditionally trained dramatic actors risks transforming a historic television franchise into a hollow, hyper-commercialized marketing campaign designed solely to generate quick digital impressions. This ongoing debate underscores a fundamental cultural shift within the entertainment industry, where the definition of a successful television performer is no longer tied to theatrical pedigree, but is instead measured by a person's absolute fluid efficiency within the global digital economy. As the production team moves closer to the official January 2027 premiere date, the structural choices implemented by Fox and Fremantle will undoubtedly serve as a major indicator for the future development of network television. The successful integration of digital powerhouses like Olivia Dunne and Brooks Nader into a multi-generational broadcast narrative underscores a permanent evolution in how media conglomerates construct, finance, and monetize their primary entertainment assets. If this 12-episode block succeeds in converting digital engagement into sustained broadcast ratings, it will establish an entirely new operational blueprint for the industry, proving that legacy brands can be systematically revitalized through the precise application of internet-era marketing mechanics. This calculated fusion of traditional television infrastructure with the raw financial power of the influencer economy sets a definitive trajectory for the future of mass entertainment, ensuring that the boundaries between digital creation, professional sports, and primetime television will continue to dissolve as networks scramble to secure their financial survival in an increasingly complex consumer marketplace.